Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, you know, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I'd have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them, and certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. But you may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups, and I'll let you know.
Let me see if I can help you, Mr. Trump. The group is the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. It's been around in America since 1860. I'm certain somewhere in your travels you may have at the very least heard of them. They are a group that practices without apology and with a tremendous amount of pride anti-Semitism, anti-Catholicism, Christian terrorism, white supremacy, white nationalism, homophobism, and anti-immigration as well. They happily and without reservation promise the murder of people of any color who do not see the world in their fashion. They to this day practice lynchings and terror in the name of their cause. Running for the presidency is a full-time gig, and despite the fact you're a smart man who has vast knowledge of the world around him, and by your own account, a snap-trap mind that never forgets anything, let's accept your statements about not knowing who these people are.
We're not the Klan back in the 20s, the 40s, 60s, or 70s. The IKA has never, ever told anybody to go out there and kill somebody or hang somebody.
We're not out here beating people. We're very nonviolent, but if pushed, we can be.
Every year, hundreds of Klansmen, skinheads, and other white supremacists flock to the IKA's headquarters to prepare them for the ultimate race war and celebrate white power.
Anybody that hates a Jew and a queer is down for us.
In a 3-day event called Nordic Fest. IKA recruiters actively work the crowds, selling them on the Klan's new face.
Let's get recruiting so that if they do decide to mess with us, we can take out more of them.
And there's David Duke, the white nationalist, anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist, convicted felon, and former Grand Wizard of the Klan, who has spent the better part of the last 2 decades trying to fool people into thinking he could be anything but a race-baiting, fear and hate-mongering mongrel of a biped, who has publicly thrown his support behind you for President of the United States.
I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists.
Interesting, because 2 days prior to that interview, some might think when answering a question, you did know who David Duke is.
How do you feel about the recent endorsement from David Duke?
I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow, okay?
If we go back further, say the year 2000, when you were quoted in a New York Times interview, the Reform Party now includes a Klansman, Mr. David Duke, a neo-Nazi, Mr. Pat Buchanan, and a communist, Ms. Lenora Fulani. This is not company I wish to keep. This isn't the first time Donald Trump has conveniently forgotten a piece of the past, his past. To be fair, he isn't the first politician to double and triple down on issues and events for which there is not a single shred of provable evidence that they ever happened. The difference here is he's the bombastic GOP frontrunner who attracts people regardless of the truth behind his statements. That, too, is not so rare. We see it happening every day for a number of candidates. Mr. Trump regales us when he needs to talk about his memory. In an NBC News interview last November, he stated, quote, "I have the world's greatest memory. It's one thing everyone agrees on." Not everyone, Donald, not by a long shot. The evidence is clear. Don't even try to sneak past intelligent people that you didn't understand the question about Duke and the Klan because your earpiece was malfunctioning. The words Duke and Klan in and of themselves should send up warning flags, and should, to someone who seeks to lead all Americans, be immediately rejected without hesitation. Or is that an axiom of civilized society Donald Trump allowed to slip his mind? That is telling it like it is. Rock on, true believers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night, right back here on The Hardline.